Now imagine you work, and you work, and you work, and you work at something, and finally you find yourself able to do everything that you really wanted to do for your passion. You're running a club, you're running a trampoline club, Axis Trampoline Club, and finally you get it all sorted for all of your hundreds of members, and you've got the place. It's all set up. It's finally happened after years of graft. Well, that's what Olly Monro thought, up until it was all taken away from him. And Olly is here with me this morning. Good morning, Olly.
Good morning, John. How are you?
It sounds very dramatic, but that's pretty much it, isn't it? Let's talk about you firstly, because we're talking about the Axis Trampoline Club, which was based at the Redwood Lodge Country House Hotel, which was closed down earlier this year.
That's correct, yes.
How did you get involved in trampolining?
I've got a pretty unconventional route into trampolining.
Right.
Normally, with any kind of gymnastics discipline, you start when you're a little tiddler. So sort of 5 years, 6 years old, something like that.
Yeah.
I started trampolining at the ripe old age of 20.
Bit old for that sort of... what, you mucking around or something?
I was already creaking when I first started.
Okay.
No, I first started at university.
Right.
I went to university at UE in Bristol. And... joined the badminton club and the squash club. Right. In the first term of my first year, and attended those clubs, and they were rubbish.
Right. Well, they were rubbish, or you were rubbish?
I used to play county badminton, so
you okay. So they were rubbish, you were good. Okay, just checking.
I mean, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, they weren't very well run. So I was like, okay, well, I've played them for years. What have I not done? So I went back to the list and. Had a look down. Never done a martial art, so I gave kickboxing a whirl, and carried on down the list. Trampolining, I've never done that. That sounds like it could be fun. Let's give that a go. And that was it. So I started both of those. And interestingly, kickboxing they were both in the same venue at the same time. So I used to go and do an hour of trampolining, and then nip downstairs to the gym and finish with an hour and a half of kickboxing. And it was great. I really enjoyed them both. And then when I got my first belt in kickboxing, we got to spar, which is great, until I got put with a black belt that beat 3 shades of heck out of me.
Okay, so that was at the point that you thought, I think bouncing's my thing.
That's exactly what I thought. So literally, I picked my bags up, dusted myself off, picked my bags up, and went upstairs to the trampoline gym and never looked back.
Were you natural?
Absolutely not. No, I mean, I'm 6'2", and built like a racing greyhound. So no, not.
So you're not a natural trampolinist.
No, not the traditional physique for a trampolinist. And I had no gymnastics background or anything like that. Okay. But just loved it, bouncing up and down, flying around onto crash mats and trying to somersault and all of that kind of stuff. And it was brilliant.
And this became. I mean, you started the club in 2005. But this is your life, isn't it? That sort of let's have a go at something at the age of 20 is now your life.
Absolutely. Well, I started competing at UE and got better and better, and then there were no clubs in Bristol. There was nowhere for me to go to learn the higher skills. So I had to travel into Wales and into deepest, darkest Somerset to go and get the coaching that I needed. But there was a big gap. And so a friend of mine, JJ Shaw, he and I kind of sat down and went, well, let's start a club up. Let's make it work. And so that was when we started it, and Axis Trampoline Club was born. And it was brilliant. We had a whale of a time. I carried on competing. I carried on getting my coaching levels and sort of got higher and higher, and my involvement in the sport got bigger and bigger. And now I find myself as a high-performance trampoline coach. I'm a national judge. What
were you studying at university?
Physiology and pharmacology.
Right. Do you do any of that now?
Nope.
Okay, just one. So actually, it's just one of those things, isn't it? Sometimes you turn right, sometimes you turn left, sometimes you carry straight on down the road. You could have been whatever that qualification would have led to.
Pathologist.
So you could have been doing your own little silent witness.
Yeah, absolutely.
Type thing.
But if I hadn't gone to
that
UE,
club,
and if I hadn't gone to UE and I hadn't gone down the road of where UE took me, then I wouldn't have discovered trampolining. So everything happens for a reason.
Do you ever wonder what it would have been like to have been a pathologist? Or
I took a very active decision actually on that. After I graduated, I didn't didn't want to follow that path. I didn't want to end up at 60 years old, in a tweed jacket with leather elbows, at dinner parties where everyone runs away from you because you're, the cell, it's a fantastically interesting thing. Yawn. So,
okay.
that wasn't my idea of fun. So but at that point I had no idea what I wanted to do. So I just kind of trod water with, a couple of jobs. I worked at TGI Fridays for a little while and was a manager there. And got to run around and be crazy, and it was great fun. But all of my trampolining qualifications were on the up and up. And
so here you are. You set a club up because there is no club. It's in 2005. You started that at Ashton Park School. A couple of old ratty trampolines. These are your words, but safe, of course, but
of
ratty.
Course, yes, absolutely.
Safe but ratty. And through evolution and through getting successful, people are joining your club. How do you find yourself at Ashton Court? Not at Ashton Court, at Redwood Lodge.
Well, we built the club up.
Yeah.
With everyone's hard work and determination, and we started to get success at all the various competition levels, and we now have regional level competitors and national level competitors, and we're doing. So
you're coaching competitors who are at the top of the trampolining game.
Yes, we haven't got any internationals at the moment. That's. But
that has to be the next step.
Absolutely,
I would imagine,
that's our goal. But yeah, we've got people competing at pretty much top national level, and they're doing brilliantly. And it's very exciting.
Saying you were in Glasgow, weren't you? You came down from Glasgow last night.
Yes, I was. I was commentating at the Scottish National Championships.
Wow.
That's one of the things I do for British gymnastics is arena commentary work for the major events.
Wow.
So I've done Scottish Championships, British Championships for the last 5 years, and I had the honour of presenting the World Championships in 2011.
Gosh.
Which is great fun.
You're at the top of the tree of trampolining. You set this club up. You arrive at Redwood Lodge when?
We signed the contract in February of this year.
So this year, 2014.
2014, yep.
You must have thought that all your Christmases had come home at once.
Well, we wanted to get bigger. Everyone was chomping at the bit. Even our recreational classes were going, we need more space for this. And our competitors needed more time. As a club, we were punching above our weight nationally at competition, but to get better, to get that next step, we needed more time. Okay. So we took the decision to move to Redwood, and it was amazing. I can't tell you how amazing it was to go from a set-up, set-down, setting your equipment up and down every session, to going to somewhere where all of the equipment is out and you don't have to worry about it, and to have time. It was fabulous. And we were so lucky and so happy, and the club grew instantly, bam, at the drop of a hat. It was great. And then it was literally as instant as we walked in one day and went, can we have the keys to unlock? And they went, yep, there you go, there's the keys. Oh, by the way, there's a letter. And the letter was, sorry, we're going bust. You've got 3 weeks to get out. It was literally that abrupt. We had no clue whatsoever that was going to happen.
More from Olly Monro after the 3 degrees. The 3 degrees, and when will I see you again? 23 minutes past 11. With me is Olly Monro. He is one of the founders of the Axis Trampoline Club, and in the beginning of this year, it was all coming together. Axis had moved into their new home at Redwood Lodge, and as Olly was just explaining to us, given the keys. When were you given the keys in this letter?
When we moved into Redwood?
Yeah, when you were told they were going bust. You remember the day? June's, because this was quite a big story, because there were lots of people who found themselves in a situation where they had weddings planned, and goodness knows what else. So a lot of people let down by the closure of Redwood Lodge. Not a clue that this was going to happen.
Nothing. Moved in February, kicked out. We moved out on the 4th of August after the notice period, which was shorter than the contract led us to believe, but there we go. I'm still grinding my teeth on that one.
Must have been heartbreaking.
The first announcement that we had to make that first day, I got to the end of the announcement with the kids and just literally I had to walk out the room and disappeared down a corridor and dissolved into floods of tears. It was everything. This is absolutely my life. The whole club is my life. And put me aside for a minute, forget, my own personal situation as Olly, but for all of the kids and all the parents, there's so much effort and energy and vibrancy and enthusiasm that goes into what is Axis Trampoline Club. And for that to be dashed, that was what upset me the most. Removing opportunity.
Kids who are giving it a go and are having some fun, but you've got obviously people who are performing to the very highest standard within the discipline.
The high level competitors, but then the club is so much more than just high level trampolining, all the recreational side of things. And we've had people, we've been running for 10 years now, and I've got adults coming back and being part of the club and supporting us who, I picked up age, 6, 7 and 8, and we've changed their lives. I can list young people who have been in
sport can do that
in difficult places.
Sport, I know. I've spoken to people who have found a sport that they can do, and it's set them on a path that they never thought was possible. It's given them something that they were looking for elsewhere. It can. It's never changed my life because I'm rubbish at everything, sport-wise. But who knows? I may find one.
I'm one of my big things that I like to say in my sessions when I'm coaching the kids is that there's no such thing as I can't do this. I can't do a somersault. I can't do it. I don't believe in it. I don't believe in I can't. You have, as an individual, you have no idea how powerful you are and how much potential you have. So let's turn the I can't into I'll try, I'll give it a go. Because until you give it a go, until you try, you have no idea. And my goodness, if you try, you'll succeed. It's a pleasure to watch people turn.
I tend to adopt the basic principle, Olly, is how hard can it be? Everything I look at, how hard can this be? Let's give it a go, see what happens. What's the worst thing? How hard can it be? You've got a home, I'm told, but you're not going to tell me where it is because there are still I's to be dotted and T's to be crossed.
Well, we've found somewhere.
Yeah.
After extensive searching, I have to take my hat off to the team that sits behind me at the club, and particularly to my good lady wife Mel. She and I and other members of the team have worked tirelessly to find somewhere, and we have, and we haven't signed the contract yet, although it's ready to be signed. But it's 13,000 square feet, which is amazing. To put that into perspective, the space that we had at Redwood was about 3,500 square feet. So
crumbs.
We are
big difference.
It's
big, as in literal.
It's a warehouse. It's massive.
Right.
But this is it. This is exactly what I wanted to achieve. Redwood was intended to be a stepping stone to something bigger. But if we can now fill this space with other disciplines, I want to be a rebound centre that can serve Bristol and that can serve the southwest and even the country. So if we can run trampolining, the other two disciplines that are linked to trampolining both nationally and internationally are DMT, or double mini trampoline, and tumbling. So if we can be a performance centre for those three disciplines and then have bits and pieces of general gymnastics, and we can have some free running going on as well, it's going to be brilliant. But the space will allow us to do all of that, and it's very exciting.
So could it be all's well that ends well? Could it be?
It could be. So certainly people have suggested that, okay, Redwood closing and taking that away from you was a tragedy, but this could be the best thing that's ever happened to you.
I know, probably didn't feel like that in June, though, did it?
No.
No, I didn't. Thank you for the restraint there. I saw your face and your editor come on. I'm very grateful to you because, yes, there would have been reports and inquiries and goodness knows. Olly Monro, lead coach and one of the founders of the Axis Trampoline Club. Thank you so much for coming in. You want to find out more about what Axis do, Axis Trampoline Club, put that into a search engine of your choice and you'll find them. Olly, thank you very much for coming and sharing your story.
Thank you so much. No worries.
And good luck with the future as well.
Well, lots of money to be raised, but that's the last thing we need to do is raise a bit of money, but we're working on that.
Good luck with it.
Thank you.
BBC Radio Bristol.
Saturday afternoon, here's